Yes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, live with us, and greetings to all those who will join us join us later, or watch our videos later. This is the Consensusism Study Group meeting again on a Saturday with one thing in mind: having a conversation on the unification of Africa. So, welcome. We shall proceed today with watching a video by our own brother Kama of Zambia. Last week we watched, or we had a presentation on blockchain technology. And cryptocurrency, as you know or may not know, is an application of blockchain technology. So this is part 2, where we will watch a video on blockchain technology and its application to cryptocurrency. And Brother Kama, who is an expert on that, will then answer any questions we have. And so this is part 2. So once again, welcome. We meet on Thursdays also, where we discuss philosophy and ideology only. That is the Pan-African version, not liberal Pan-Africanism, not conservative Pan-Africanism. We solely discuss radical, or if you like, progressive Pan-Africanism. That we do that on Thursdays, same time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. GMT Accra time. We used to do it on London time, but no more. It's now Accra time. So thank you very much for joining us. It's 11 past 6. So without, as I say, much ado, let's proceed with the presentation from our brother Kama, which is on YouTube, and he shared it with us. We have his permission to play the video in our session. So I hope YouTube will not be upset with us and say that we are plagiarizing. So here we go. Thank you. It's about 45 minutes. Thank you.
Well, welcome to our presentation entitled I think cryptocurrency as alternative to African development agenda funding. Cryptocurrency alternative to funding African development agenda. That is our title. I think we all remember that I was requested to give such a presentation from the concerns that were raised by our comrade who was presenting on the importance of research, and what was discovered that funding into Pan-African research was a challenge, and we had such funding. Those researchers have to source funding from elsewhere, and commonly not Africa, but from friends of Pan-Africans. Then it was then that I suggested that perhaps we could take advantage of the blockchain technology, one product of the blockchain technology, which is cryptocurrency, as to helping us raising funds to invest in our African development. I think from the remarks that members gave already, I came to understand that people already have knowledge, have experience on cryptocurrency, many of the members, because Brother Kwame at least, gave us insight and examples of the challenges that are in cryptocurrency, that many cryptocurrency advocates or enthusiasts have been murdered. Are we safe if we adopted this technology? That was one of his concerns. So I'm interested in more of the product, because cryptocurrency is a product of blockchain technology. If the blockchain has so many other usages, and the technology itself, I've invited staff from the United Africa Blockchain Association to come and give a presentation on blockchain, the blockchain itself, and its different usages. But my interest from the presentation we had on lack of funds to fund our Pan-African projects is the product of the technology. That's my interest, because there I know is where there is monetary value, because we need income to spend on our Pan-African projects and activities. So that is why I'm doing this presentation. And the reason why I decided to do a recording is that members can have enough time to brainstorm, go through this presentation, and then as the technology, blockchain technology presentation will be done by our colleagues from the United Africa Blockchain Association, it will make more sense, because those that start now, extracting coins from the blockchain, these crypto coins that I'll suggest in this presentation, it will make more sense to relate to what we are doing in practice. So since the value is in the product, personally, I'm interested in the product than the technology per se. I'm wondering what is happening, why it's not responding. Okay, good. So coming back to our presentation, this is all about me. I'm a retired police officer, superintendent in rank. So I'm not educated that per se, that I'm seriously educated like many of our colleagues could be here, or rather many of our comrades. That's my simple tree of knowledge, and much of it gotten, from my training as a police officer. The only 3 ones that I did as an individual was in development studies, science of investing, but the rest mostly are police training courses that I did. So I hold a certificate from the police, in police administration, investigations and interrogations, gender perspectives, restoring order after hostilities, preventing violence against women and girls. The top one there, that was my private, course that I did, development studies, because I wanted to understand, what could be done to curb the challenge we have on, poverty being a cause of crime. So what is it that involves development? That's what I wanted to understand. As I interact with the community, is there anything from my experience that I can relate between poverty reduction and development per se, understanding development, so that we help the community on how to acquire resources and assets to prevent poverty. So I also did my private course on how to understand and implement the Sustainable Development Goals. As a government worker then, even when this course was not given by the police, because the world everywhere was talking about the Sustainable Development Goals. So I wanted to have an understanding on how to implement SDGs. Hence, I went into this private training on my own, and then also did my private training on the science of investing with the Academy of a Private Investor. I'm also the vice president of the Inventors and Innovators Association of Zambia. I'm not an engineer myself, but I have passion in promoting, advocating for technology that is useful for society. So I'm the deputy coordinator of OMA, One Map Africa, which is a Pan-African grouping or organization that is under registration now in Zambia, whose interest is on food security across Africa. And I practice citizen science as an individual. So in 2019, like I did allude to, I did my self-education when I enrolled in the Academy of a Private Investor. So the list on the left here is the number of topic courses that were offered. And the second last was everything about cryptocurrency. And then the last is what is blockchain and what are its advantages. So though I don't feel like giving, I thought of inviting experts to give a talk, a presentation on the blockchain, the technology itself, on its different usages. My passion for now is cryptocurrency. So out of this course, I learned that actually we as Africans, we can take advantage of the technology and this window and this market from the challenges that we have on poverty, and hunger, resource acquisition, asset acquisition. We could take advantage of this window because it was so empowering. It was the first cryptocurrency that was ever developed was Bitcoin in 2009, launched at a value of 9 cents. If we all as Africans never ignore this technology today, one Bitcoin is valued at $61,000. Imagine if each one of us were able to get even 1,000 coins, how much wealth would have? We'll be able to fund, all our advocacy on Pan-Africanism. We're able to invest in all our capital projects for development in our different countries. So I came to learn that there are only 3 correct ways to acquire cryptocurrency. Either you get it as a gift from someone who owns it, and you have a crypto account on one of the exchanges, then you're able to receive it as a gift, or you're able to mine or generate it yourself from the blockchain so that you are able to float on the exchange for sale, or maybe convert to your local currency for sale, or you are able to buy. If you have resources, you're able to buy from the exchange. But my interest, because most Africans, we don't have money to invest in cryptocurrency, so is to deal with a growth exchange, crypto, where you relatively spend so little as investment, save you investing only in your mining device. We know so far that, the challenge we have with mining Bitcoin is the amount of power it consumes. But I was attracted to this crypto that I'm going to, to share, because it literally mines at very low rate energy consumption, because you are simply using a smartphone. All you need is to charge your phone battery. And when the battery is full, you have access to mining this crypto as much as the battery still has energy. Maybe the first question we should answer, why crypto as an alternative source of income to us Africans? Because many African countries have no control of their own resources. Our minerals, we can't exploit them to benefit our people, except our colonists, because they're still in control of how we should exploit our own minerals. We have the land, yes. In many countries like Zambia, yes, we still have vast arable land for food production. But the problem is that our education system has discouraged us from being dirty, because we regard farming as dirty project. Dirty, you have to go in the farm, get soiled, and many of us, because of our education, would rather to have white-collar jobs where we sit in the offices with our tie and, we get the little cash that we get from our employers. But except there's no employer that is going to pay you never to come back to work tomorrow. So the advantage with the crypto, you can acquire these assets quietly away from the eyes of government and authorities, and even our enemies, which are our former colonial masters. You see, over time, it acquires good value to raise capital for capital projects. If we can't do the farming ourselves, since there's value in farming, we acquire enough capital to invest, in farming, in food production, for food security, not only for our local countries, but that we can provide even for other African countries who have no opportunity because perhaps of the weather and they don't have enough land. So cryptocurrency can be accessed by everyone at individual level with relatively zero investments. Like I did allude to, save investment in the mining device, which is a smartphone. So though we know cryptocurrency, I thought maybe we could look at the definition of cryptocurrency in short, just as digital representation of value that can be stored, that can be transferred or traded electronically. So, and we have those safer ways of acquiring crypto. You get it as a gift from someone who has it, buy from the exchange if you have resources, and wait for its value to appreciate, or you mine it yourself. And the interest is that we as Africans, we need to learn how to mine, how to generate this crypto so that it becomes our property. And then we're able to exchange it for value. Like we said, crypto, fortunately, is actually an asset and it can be sold for fiat currency. And I believe this is the part that should be interesting to everyone, regardless that it's not yet legal tender in many African countries. Why? As defined earlier, because it's a store of value, it's tradable, it's exchangeable. When you look at it, this is how crypto actually is. If we say what it is, cryptocurrency is just actually evolution of money. We began from the barter system, the gold era there, where gold was a means of exchange. And when you look at it, at this time, during this time, the economy was managed by the community, not by the state. And at some point, when we were using, these gold coins and the like, the economy inflation was very less because, the economy, money was managed by its community. And that's the purpose of crypto, to shift from state, management of our currency to back to the individual. Why? Because inflation usually occur because governments will just have to print their money and bring on the market. So the opportunity of cryptocurrency is that you acquire it as an individual society member as your property, and all you need to pay is tax to the government. So that's the importance and the value that we have in cryptocurrency, because this money is not owned by government, it's owned by the individual that is taking part in acquiring it, in extracting it from the blockchain when you have an account. But in the case of fiat money that we use now, this fiat money is property of the government. It is the government that produces this. And if for you to acquire it, you really need to have to toil. Either you're an employee or you're a farmer, you own a business somewhere. Now, this is the traditional way we've been taught how to acquire income. That you need to have a job, you need to be self-employed, where you trade your time with money, both as a self-employee, but cryptocurrency has an opportunity to shift us to the right side of the cash quadrant, where you can either own a business because you have enough resources to employ people to work for you, or you can invest money where it works for you. That is where cryptocurrency is. It provides a comparative advantage. And it is not segregative. It doesn't matter you're white, you're black. What matters is your mindset, the decision that you make to get involved into it, so that you are able to extract these coins yourself and keep them as your own property. I think this situation in Africa is common, that we have so many universities, but less jobs. Why? Because our industry is not expanding. Now, in Zambia alone, our Minister of Finance stated that every month, over 7 million youths are on the streets and on the corridors looking for jobs, which are very less because currently the only employer in government is government. Maybe 4,000 jobs in a year. You know, if they're lucky, they manage 30,000 jobs in a year. But what is 30,000 out of the 7 million youths? Now, crypto, the beauty of the crypto is a product, you know, that operates on the concept of globalization, which is through an internet window. You don't have to migrate. How many of our African youths are dying on the oceans trying to migrate to the United States, in Europe, you know, in search of greener, what they call greener pastures? You know, the concept of globalization is a concept that you can operate both at home and abroad through this internet window. You don't have to migrate. You can be at home, but still working abroad, online, where you're able to acquire these assets and then convert them into wealth whilst you're at home, but through an internet window. That's the beauty with the cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is also passive income, meaning you can actually have excess money, which is called residual money, so that you're able to create your wealth from there. Well, there are others that have active income, like our workers now. They have active income. Then cryptocurrency can be passive income because there's so little that you do about it. Save, as we are going to see on the crypto that is being suggested, that you just need 2 to 5 minutes of your time every day to mine this crypto. Now, the goodness with the, taking crypto as passive income, when you add with your, active income, you pay for your life's needs. And then you are going to have residual income from which you are going to create generational wealth. Wealth that when you create today, your family will not have to start all over again, because this technology is during our time. It's in our time. So we can actually transfer this knowledge and this wealth from ourselves to our children. Politicians take advantage of us because most of us are very poor, and that we can only survive through them. So we hold them accountable if we are able to be in the middle income and maybe venture into the wealth and rich people there, where we are able to participate on the corridors of power. Because for us to push our leaders, those leaders that we have identified, that will propel the Pan-African agenda, we need resources to invest in them. We need resources to invest in them. So as individual Pan-African activists, when we have our own source of income, resources, we're able to contribute so that, we invest in our created leaders that we want to propel our African agenda. Now, the truth of the matter, this is the situation now with regards to, the capital market. We have had these other products for too long, which has failed us at the individual level. But the cryptocurrency now is leading. And all we need is our mindset, the boldness, the courage, to embrace this technology. Courage, like our leader Kwame, our comrade Kwame did allude to, that so many people have been murdered because of cryptocurrency, supporting cryptocurrency. We need to take the courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but it's the taking of action in spite of fear, going against the resistance engendered by fear into the unknown, into the future. We have what we want to achieve. We just need to take the courage. But at least, from past experiences, it's safe now to own cryptocurrency because it's globally accepted. Even those countries that were fighting cryptocurrency, like the United States, they're now toning down to try to adopt the cryptocurrency. So to me, cryptocurrency is actually freedom. It provides freedom. It's different from date. Like we did allude to, today, cryptocurrency is over now, as I speak today, $61,000 per coin. We don't have to borrow with the cryptocurrency to pay back. it becomes your property when you manage to acquire it. As we speak today globally, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin has created over 172,000 millionaires with over $100 million per individual. $1 million, $100 million per individual. So, yes, we have been skeptical as Africans, but it's better late than never. And allow me now to introduce the crypto, the type of crypto that I feel we need to embrace. Because why? Because this is still at growth stage. This crypto has not launched yet. So I want us to take it as a field exercise, a practical exercise from the lesson that and the experience that we have with crypto, so that when we will be listening to the presentation on the blockchain technology, from the experience that we have had with this Pi crypto, perhaps we would relate and make good sense out of it. Why this choice? Because there is zero investment, relatively zero investment, except you investing in a mining device. And I believe most of the people listening to me, they have a smartphone. And that's all that you need to invest. And maybe your social media data. That's all that you need. What is crypto? What is this Pi crypto? From the definition of the founders, it's a new digital currency developed by Stanford PhDs. Currently, it has over 60 million people globally that are mining this crypto. The three gentlemen, more especially the two on my right, these Asian guys are the founders, but they incorporated a colleague, a black colleague, to be part of their team. And if you look at this Stanford engineering thing here, you find that Pi is one of the companies under Stanford University. That's where these graduates were educated from. And after them developing this crypto, Stanford has adopted it is amongst the 53 countries under the Department of Engineering, and more especially under the Department of Computer Sciences. We don't have Africans so far that have developed cryptocurrency, though I met one cryptocurrency that was developed by an African, I believe that's a Nigerian, but has never had good support from fellow Africans themselves. So maybe our colleagues that will come and help us understand the blockchain technology will help us know which other African colleagues have developed, cryptocurrency that we can support. But for now, we can take advantage of this crypto that seem to be friendly even to an African, because you spend little, there's no investment that is required. Even Bitcoin was so friendly, except we ignored it. Even when its development was developed, for the freedom of everyone globally, we embraced it. But at the current value, unfortunately, as Africans, we can't manage to invest in Bitcoin. Save we can now invest in these other growth crypto, like the Pi crypto. Now, my due diligence that I did with the Pi crypto, that is very easy, because you just mine it through an app on your phone and use the battery to mine it. Then the huge consumption of power that governments are against Bitcoin. You just need to be 18 years and above. And if we can educate our African community from 18 years and above now to take advantage of this crypto, this is the future. These are our future leaders. So, because it's impossible for us to develop Africa if we cannot we cannot create millionaires. So it's an advantage that we have with this crypto that, from 18 years and above, we start creating millionaires that will invest in African industry. So the founders get only 10% of the coins that you mine, and they leave you 90% of the coins. So that when it launches, that becomes your capital. The technology and the product was designed to enable ordinary people enter into the crypto market, because the crypto market, like we have discovered, it has value. You don't have to invest anything in it, save the smartphone and maybe just 5 minutes of your time daily to click on the button to mine that crypto. It has a 24 hours mining cycle after activation. We have online shop to purchase products using the coin directly. It will be connected to some exchanges for those who wish to convert, this crypto into cash so that you're able to invest. If leader Kwame or comrade Ping Bin would want to travel somewhere to go and support a Pan-African activity, all we need to do, we have the asset in our exchange, which is away from the eyes of government. Send these coins to him. Then he travels to that country and converts these coins into that country's local currency. And then he supports the movement from that country. The type of participants, when you have an account with this crypto, what type of participants could you be? You can be a pioneer where you just mine this crypto to yourself for your own benefit as an individual. You don't have to share with anybody if that is your choice. But if you become rigid, that you start mining just for yourself, how will others know? Unless they are taught. So the Bible says, just making reference to the Bible, that's what the Bible says, that how will others know? Only others will know when they are taught. And when you get to inform them, you can also be an ambassador where you promote this crypto to other Africans so that they adopt it, they embrace it, so that they're able to create wealth in a smart way. You can be a contributor within the system where you invite others to come into what we call a security cycle. And that security cycle, you use it in case you have a challenge with your account. Those people that you include, about 5 people who are close to you, those that you trust, will help you recover the logins in case you have a challenge with logging into your crypto account. So you can either be the developer. We have a number of Africans who can acquire wealth through crypto, where they develop these apps and they'll be paid handsomely. I know of somebody who was paid 10,000 coins for developing an app for this project. And we have our brothers and sisters who have this knowledge, who can actually acquire wealth through developing these apps in this project. The relevance is not limited to place, can work anywhere and everywhere on your phone. Little time required, can fill the gap for generation wealth. Like other assets, is developed for possible value. All we need is to wait for its launch this December, because the status quo is that it's likely to launch this December per the developer's roadmap. The status quo, personally, this is my account. On this date when I did this screenshot, are 2,000 coins. Imagine if these 2,000 coins were worth $61,000 like Bitcoin is now. How much money I could have to invest in my own personal projects. We can grow industries. We can invest in the ability of our youths, those that are privileged to be inventors, that we start investing in our own African technologies so that which we can use for our own African development. I personally introduced it to all my family members, all the young men that my family that have smartphones. Of course, I only allow my children who are 18 years and above to have smartphones, not below that. So we can deal with the issue of unemployment, because this window can carry everybody as long as you have access to internet. You can have access this asset. I've never been asked to invest in a single coin, any Zambian single coin in this project. Never. That's why I'm very optimistic. Have all the confidence in this project. After the 24-hour cycle, this is how my account looks like. My only job is to come here where it's reading 0 pi per hour. The arrow here says tap to mine. That's what it is to mine in crypto. I just tap this button, then just like an ignition of a vehicle, it starts running the blockchain to extract these coins for me, and they continue building up, on the upper part of the page. The currently, actually, the product is trading in Europe, in Asian countries, where we have merchants that have adopted this technology. And the value at which he's trading now is $314,159. I mean, if this is the value that it will launch at, this is good income. If members that are listening to me now as Pan-Africans adopt this concept, this technology, this product now, from the time you listen before December, you'll be able to have at least 10 coins. Then you multiply those 10 coins with this value. It means that's the amount of wealth that you're going to have by January next year. It means our African agenda, our advocacy, will be thriving. We will not be worried of how to fund our activism. No, we have all the resources as individuals that we can contribute to fund to activism. I define advocacy myself as, carrying out activities that, you use to publicize, your interest. In simple terms, if this is the value at which it will launch, why can't we take advantage of this technology, this window of wealth creation as Africans? This roadmap is very simple. Likely this December, 15 million KYC people required, KYC that is done on accounts, and it's already done. About 10 million people should have their coins migrated to the wallet. This is already done. The system needed 100 Pi apps, to be created for usage. This is already done. And all what we're waiting is the launch, which is just a month in between. This is December. What is the BRICS position with the cryptocurrency? From what I've discovered is that the BRICS are already embracing crypto and Pi crypto, featuring, it says, the BRICS introduction of a new blockchain-based payment system featuring the Pi and the Syndra SDA currencies. So the BRICS are already, these are the friends of Africa. These are friends of Pan-Africanists. So if they're embracing Pi and this other crypto, it's better we also take advantage. It means we have means of payment. We have means of acquiring wealth ourselves to fund our activism. I just want to share with you what the Nigerian parliament is talking about, crypto. What debate, the position they're trying to take, with regards to crypto.
Because it is the easiest way of receiving payment, President. Even the American government fought Bitcoin. But today they have come to the realization that the world has moved to that stage. So, Mr. President, I strongly believe that as a Senate and as a National Assembly, we ourselves have been interested with what is happening in the global space. Now you have the world in your palm. The world has become a one-stop shop. Somebody can carry $17 billion on his phone. That's what cryptocurrency and blockchain is all about. So we cannot run away from it. Because your children and my children are on this at this stage. We are still my children. The number of cryptocurrency will ensure that we sell this next phase of technology to all the Nigerians. Time has come where we must make obvious. I saw something in the press. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Bjorkum Jimmy. I represent Equity South. Mr. President, there's really not too much to say about this. We didn't create cryptocurrency, and so we cannot kill it, and we cannot also refuse to ensure that it works for us. Definitely the youths of today are not like us. Me, I am used to tangible medium of exchange. I carry my cash in my pocket. I pay it. But the world has gone so far, Mr. President. And these children are doing great business with it. They are working every day on their laptops, on their phones, and they're getting results. And Nigeria cannot immune itself from this sort of business. What we can do is ensure that the space is regulated in such a way that bad people cannot use it. What we didn't create, we cannot fully regulate, but we can manage. And I believe that is the reason why this motion is most important, because the time has come for us to be able to harmonize all the issues concerning cryptocurrency and have a proper way forward on how to manage it and manage our use. So I support this motion, and I believe at the end of it all, we'll be able to say we have done our bit. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. That was a very nice debate with our parliamentarians in Nigeria. Now, I think the important thing is we need to embrace the future. And if we do embrace the future, the possibilities that we are going to survive. Now, if you look at the corner here, this is an image I got from a book entitled Rapid Africa Plan by Professor Mbaiwa of Zimbabwe. So, he's talking about the importance of intellectual software upgrade. Why? Because, you cannot do the future with old psychology. The colonialists have played so great destruction on our leaders and our countries, our economies. But, we need to be tactical enough to embrace technologies that is able to help us come out of this slavery, So mental upgrade software is all about new psychology and new mindset. So when you look at the global consciousness, the world is talking crypto. Only governments are against crypto because, crypto provides freedom to the individuals. Yes, we can see now African countries talking crypto. What we can do, we don't know what type of regulation they're going to bring. But before they do that, we can take advantage of this window, which is too private, away from government, and perhaps acquire the wealth that we need to invest in our campaign and our activism. Now, when you look at the global, decisions that were made by the UN, we're looking at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And this is all about Agenda 2030 and for Africa, Agenda 2068, which is Africa industrialization. How do we industrialize Africa without having control of our resources? We need to have resources and assets that we are able to control ourselves, that can create wealth, so that we invest in our agenda. Yes, Vision 2030, according to the UN General Assembly, is at least most of the developed countries will reach at the medium income society. And one of the opportunities that we have is SDG number 9, which is industrial innovation, which is about new ideas and new products. This is where cryptocurrency comes in, because we need to invest in our own health. SDG number 3, good health, which is what that we need. We need resources to invest in our own health. And cryptocurrency as a new product and new idea can help us achieve this goal that we're looking at. Yes, these are some of the global challenges that we are faced with. The rich-poor gap. Number 3, global challenge number 3 is about population and resources, sustainable development, issues of science and technology. All these, if one of the solutions is actually financial stability through cryptocurrency, we can beat our enemies who are our colonizers quietly and silently, so that behind the scenes, we are able to build our earth to invest in our projects. I started this project as WUMI, you know, in 2015 when I was still a police officer, which I just translated, which is translated as well-being, which is SDG number 3. Now, when you define well-being, is the state of being comfortable, health, and happy. And there is what it takes to reach this state: education or knowledge, financial stability, wellness, socialization. And I'm now doing socialization with the members here so that, you know, we become of this like-minded people, you know, on how we can mobilize resources to fund our African development agenda. Now, problem-solving techniques, as a policeman, I learned them as 3. You know, you identify the problem or the challenge, you identify the cause, then you eliminate the cause. So the problem we have, you know, African agenda is financial and economic freedom. You know, and the problem we have also, the cause is mindset. We're not ready to embrace new ideas. Huh? What have we tried and failed? Perhaps this new window can help us. And my conclusion, why I'm participating in the crypto market, is the only solution that we have so far as Africans. I've tried farming myself. I failed. In Zambia, you know, we tried our best in 2023, 2024 season. But we're not the makers of rain. We didn't have the rain. But there's a window. If all of us embraced it, that we could have survived. We could have used this money now to invest in digging boreholes, in irrigation systems, so that, you know, we grow the food out of season. Thank you so much. I just simply want to welcome you to the future for wealth creation and crypto technology, crypto concept and the crypto technology. Hope it makes sense. Those that would want now to start now, you know, mine this crypto, so that by the time we're having a presentation on the blockchain itself, we're able to relate to what we'll be doing in practice. You can reach me on these numbers and that email. Thank you so much, and wish Africa a good future.
Wow. British Pigeon, can you hear me?
Yes, Brother Kwame, I can hear you.
Thank you. Brother Kama. Wow. Thank you so much. I hope Brother Kama is still here. I know he has challenges with his internet, which is why he pre-recorded this for us, which we shared earlier. Brother Pigeon shared it. So he is here, and he was going to answer questions that we have. I think, like I said, his internet, the Zambian internet is not very stable, so he's gone off again. I did make him a co-host so that he can, if he does come again, I'm sure Brother Pigeon will notice. So, brothers and sisters, we have heard from Brother Kama Hachundi of Zambia. This is the country of our senior brother who wrote Zambia Shall Be Free, Honorable Kenneth Kaunda. You know, Zambia Shall Be Free, which some of us read when we were in secondary school. This is before Zambia became free. He wrote the book Zambia Shall Be Free. That's what Kenneth Kaunda wrote, and Zambia was free. But that was political liberation. Brother DJ Mr. P, I don't think he's here now. He's resting at the moment, but he has been in touch. And what we have decided, that's a CSG. CSG, for those who don't know, stands for Consensus Study Group. We have decided that our Saturday sessions will now focus on both politics and economics, by which we mean political unification and economic unification. So 2 Saturdays, I think we can devote 2 Saturdays to economic matters and 2 Saturdays to political unification matters. So we've heard from Brother Kama I want to make a few remarks, and then we'll listen to the African anthem, and then we will open the floor for discussion. The video is done, the record is done, so we have about an hour. So that's enough for us to have a discussion. So let me make a few comments. Now, first of all, we thank Brother Kama for his presentation. It seems to me that his comments on my comment about the killing of a lot of the crypto leaders, because he mentions them in the video, I am therefore logically concluding that he recorded this for us after those remarks. That is just logical. So it is true that a lot of crypto leaders have been murdered across the world. And my investigations show that no one particular government is responsible. In other words, all governments are, I'm talking about the global powers here, and we all know who the global powers are. All of them are in it because they all feel threatened. And they've been killed in different ways. Some were poisoned, some were thrown from balconies, some were shot, and so on. These are crypto leaders. And Brother Kama has told us that we must be brave and not be scared because of that. I would like to endorse what he's saying by reminding us about what Nkrumah said. Nkrumah says that the secret of life is to have no fear. So I want to assure Brother Kama that in CSG, we are not afraid, and we encourage our fellow Africans not to be afraid. And we recall that the circle, by the circle I mean the society, the secret society that spearheaded the decolonization movement on the continent, led by Nkrumah, was called the Circle. And the Circle had a motto of, its motto was service, sacrifice, and suffering. So we are prepared. We know that even a woman, before she gives birth, suffers. She has to push and push and push. Sometimes the baby doesn't want to come, and she has to push, especially when the head is big, and so. And so even in nature, even though children are beautiful, and a woman will do everything to protect her baby, just like animals in the bush will also do everything to protect their babies. And yet, when the baby is coming, they go through a lot, which is why we lift our hearts to our mothers, our aunties, our sisters, bringing us into this world. I mean, I'm speaking here as a man. So Nkrumah says the secret of life is to have no fear. So we are not afraid. Now, to answer Brother Kama's question, why did we not join? I would say we did not. Speaking for me and speaking to others, we did not know much about the cryptocurrency. We knew very little. And nobody was explaining it to us. And I personally didn't have the time to research it. Some did. But then we were mindful as CSG that we needed to understand what it was about, because a lot of us just received were people just telling us cryptocurrency, you make a lot of money, and that was it. And then we had mixed messages, some saying that it was 419. So we were not sure, we didn't know. So Brother Kama, the reason we didn't jump on the bandwagon in 2009 is because we didn't have someone like you, an African who understood what was going on, come and explain it to us. That is my understanding. Those of you who understood it as you've explained, you jumped on the bandwagon, and with 0.09 cent of dollars, you are now your crypto coin is now worth 61,000 plus. So we are happy that has happened. But however, as I was saying, CSG was mindful. So we invited a sister of ours, I don't want to mention her name, who, as we understood it, was promoting the digital currency, blockchain. So we asked this sister to come and present to us. Brother Pigeon will, if he wants, tell you what happened. But to cut a long story short, all we got was that we were insulted. You invite someone into your house, and then when they come into your house and you give them a chair to sit down, and they start insulting you, telling you don't know what you are doing, telling you that following Nkrumah is useless, and so on and so forth. In other words, we as radical Pan-Africanists are just wasting our time, and so on and so forth. We didn't say anything. We took it calmly, and we thanked them. We thanked them for their presentation. But what they came to was to sell us a product. And that product involved also you presenting your business plan to them. And the people were promised that there'll be investment in their businesses, and that never happened. Anyway, I'll leave that aside. So all I'm trying to say is that we did seek to understand it as a group. We were misled, or we did not get a proper education on it until now. And we had the African Blocking Association presenting to us last Saturday, very educative. So that was our part one. Brother Pigeon has released the recording. And then today's presentation from our own Brother Kama, who we love so much. And you can hear from his presentation that this is someone who understands what he's talking about. He's not telling you to do something he hasn't done himself. It's like a mathematics teacher who is telling you how to factorize, an equation which he or himself has already factorized. So he's not telling you what to do without the experience himself or herself. So that is what happened. Now, I would like, therefore, at this point, to acknowledge in our midst members of the Asian Society, as I understand it. Brother DJ Mr. P has only acknowledged one for me. Let me see if she's still here. So I acknowledge her, unless she's left. If she hasn't left, I will acknowledge her so that we know who she is. Okay, I don't think she's here. I think she may have left.
Hello, Brother Kwame.
Yes.
Are you talking about Sister Nana? Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, she was here earlier enough. I think she just dropped out, but she was here in advance.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, what name are you using now?
I logged into another phone, so I think Frostfire or something.
Frostfire. Okay, thank you. So I want to acknowledge Frostfire, Sister Nana, who is a member of the Asian Society, and they have a lot to tell us also about the use of blockchain technology. So if I have asked if they are happy to present to us next Saturday, in which case we'll have part 3. So that will be real. So I just want to acknowledge her presence. And Sister Nana, if you want to acknowledge anybody else from the Asian Society, please unmute yourself and do so now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity. At the moment, I am the only one here today. Yes, and I would like to say that it will be of great benefit to us all and Africa at large if we lend our ears to what the Ancient Society has prepared for Africa. We will be very delighted to share what we have also brought to the world, for the world at large, but Africa first. Thank you very much.
No, thank you so much. And I also like to let you know that we are also delighted and pleased that you are here and that you'll be joining us. So I'm thinking you are happy to present to us next Saturday, in which case, brothers and sisters, let's look forward to part 3 of blockchain technology and what the Asian Society has, the food they have cooked for us. And as I understand it, the food they have cooked for us is sweeter than jollof rice. So thank you for that. Now, so we've heard a lot. I have myself questions, but I'll leave my questions for now because I've spoken a lot. Let me open the floor for others to ask questions. And then after the questions, Brother Kama is now back. And if he will answer questions. So let's ask questions first, then we'll open the floor for discussion. I hope that is clear. So questions first to Brother Kama. If his internet allows him, he will answer them. And then after that, we'll open the floor for comments, discussions, and so on and so forth. So like as I said, I have my own questions, but I will wait until others have asked their questions. The final comment I want to make before we go to question time is that Marcus Garvey used the technology of his day, and he used that to mobilize Africans globally. And the global impact of Marcus Garvey and his organization was such that young men like Kwame Nkrumah in the then Gold Coast heard of his message. And as we know the history, and Nkrumah went to the US to study, and one of his goals was to meet Marcus Garvey. Unfortunately, Garvey had been deported by the time he got there, so he never got to meet Marcus Garvey. And that's Marcus Garvey himself. The reason he went to America was that he was himself inspired by another African American who had set up an institute called the Tuskegee Institute, and they were involved in technical education. You see, the Africans or the African Americans, if you want to call them, as in, they did all the work under slavery. And so they had all the technical skills, building houses. I mean, as you know, the White House was built by Africans. Africans had they did everything. So they knew how to milk the cows, how to build bridges, they had all the technical skills. And so Tuskegee Institute was set up to train them anyway. So Garvey heard about it, and he went to America to meet the brother. Unfortunately, the brother had died. Before he got there, the brother also died, unfortunately. Anyway, so the point I'm making is that Marcus used the technology of his day. Kwame Nkrumah also used the technology of his day, okay? And that is vehicles, telegram, and things like that. That's what they used. They didn't have internet. Today, it's our time. And we also have used the technology that we have. And that's what we've been hearing. So that is the end of my comments. I'll say other things later. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us. We have in the house almost 20 of us. Brother Kama, let me just check with you that you are ready to answer questions.
I'm here.
Excellent. Brother, we love you. We love you. And on behalf of CSG, I want to thank you for that illuminating presentation. You make me want to buy crypto. Honestly, I want to buy some myself. Thank you. This is Amara. So we'll ask everyone if they have questions. Miss Amara's hand is up, so she will go first. And for those of you who don't know, we go man, woman. You know, we hear all the voices. We don't let male voices dominate in our group. Thank you. Sister Mara.
Thank you, Brother Kwame, and thank you, Brother Kama, for the presentation. During the video, you mentioned that there's a Nigerian brother that had developed cryptocurrency. I was wondering if you had a name of that of this Nigerian brother. Thank you.
I think it's in my archives on Telegram. I need to retrieve that. I think I just archived that crypto because I didn't see any much activity and support, so I just archived it there. And of course, I know of I think another Zimbabwean. I've lost. I think I can find. Maybe I can trace the other Zimbabwean who had also created a crypto, but he didn't have support. It's like it was just dying naturally.
If I sent you an email after some time, could you help me dig that information up, please?
Please,
Okay,
I will. I can send mine on that so that you get my email.
I've got your email off of the last slide.
Oh,
thank
great.
you.
All right. Zabara, is that it? Any other question?
No, that was it.
Okay, so let me ask Sister Nana if she may or may not know about the Nigerian brother. Sister Nana, are you aware of this Nigerian brother at all?
Is this question to me, sir?
Yes, Sister Nana. The Nigerian brother who developed the crypto. Are you aware of him?
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries at all.
I hope it will be my turn to have a bite on the pie issue.
Yeah, you mean you have a question?
Not as a question, but a little bit of a contribution.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, when we get to the comments,
yes,
you can say so. Okay. So we're in the question time. Yes.
Maybe,
yes,
Brother Kwame, just to add on the same answer. You know, even this one I'm talking about, the Nigerian brother, you know, to my surprise, actually, is funded by whites, not by Africans.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. So
I think that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you. Let's hear from
Brother Kwame, just one thing.
Yep.
Then in that case, I'm only interested in the Zimbabwean brother, please. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yes, but Brother Kama, dig all of them out and share with us. Right. Let's hear from. So we're in the question mode. Let's Brother Pigeon, are you able to dig out the African anthem for us whilst I'm going through this? Thank you. Yes, brother. Yeah, brother. Yeah, thank you, Brother Coco. Question.
Is my hand up or was it?
No, I'm asking if you have a question for Brother Kama.
Oh, yes. Brother Kama, many thanks for the illuminating presentation. Just to echo Brother Kwame's words already. The question I have is simple, but it depends on the answer.
Thank you so much.
You might provide. You know, we say money doesn't have an intrinsic value. So, in short, money is backed by the amount of goods it provides. That's why it has changed so many times throughout history. So there is a bit of confusion here on how do we get crypto from the onset when we know money doesn't have intrinsic value, and then make it have that intrinsic value. How does that process work? In a very short summary, I know you have already covered that, but maybe if you have a short summary on that intrinsicness. Thank you.
So, Brother Kama, before you answer that, let me say something. Brother Coco, you and I, as you know, are trained economists. So we know that money itself has no use value, except that it has an exchange value. But as you also know, money is also a store of value. So in that sense, although it has no use value, so we can't eat it. You know, we can't eat it. It, however, is a store of value. So someone can store dollars in their basement, or put dollars in their, as we have heard from the continent, some politicians hide dollars in tanks on top of their building and so on. So money does have a store of value. So I don't think there is a contradiction in that sense. But anyway, Brother Kama, you say what? I just thought I would bring that in before you answer. Yeah. Brother Kama?
As I'm here, I'm saying, I think I've understood my conclusion, my simple, understanding of crypto is a product of technology, just like a cup. Anything that you produce from technology, because that's what the blockchain is able to do. And, the owner of the product determines at which they will sell the product. But in this case, like I did allude to, as we speak now, this crypto, they're already trading with it at a value of $314,159 per coin, even before it launches. So that is the value they're pegged, the developers. and the community that have accepted, the value. I'm a simple police investigator. What I wanted was to find something that makes sense, so that I'm not left out like I was left out with Bitcoin. Because today I'm regretting Bitcoin. we can see the value of Bitcoin. I think by today it should be close to $90,000 one coin. Just after Trump won the elections and then did allude to the fact that he's going to support cryptocurrency, we can see the value that is in it. I'm not an economist. I'm an individual who is looking at something that can store value for me, and then when I exchange with it, I'll have value with it, and then I'm able to to have resources that I can spend on what I need. Basically, that's what I can answer.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I understand what Brother Coco was trying to say, but I think that because the question, and the legitimate question Brother Coco was asking, which I think I understand, is that since it's a digital thing, that means they are just units of electricity, if you like. So how would that store value? But like I said, gold used to be used to exchange goods and services in the past when we had the gold currency, gold as a medium of exchange. Gold itself can be eaten. You can't eat it, but gold itself is a store of value. You can use it to store value. In that sense, the Bitcoin, or this is a digital coin, from what I understand, as a digital coin, it can store value. And as you are saying, the value it stores today is 90,000. And you are saying the stored value in the pie in just of trading is 314,000 plus. We hear you, brother. Let's go to another person. This time will be Sister Abigail. What do you have a question? The time is 7:21. Sorry, yeah, 7:21. Yeah. Sister Abigail, do you have a question for Brother Kama? Okay, if not, we'll go to Brother Eko Adiku. Brother Eko.
Yes.
In Ghana, we say Adiku. I don't know if you are from Anglon, but anyway. Yes, you are from Anglon. Are you?
Hello.
Are you an Anglo man?
No.
Okay, all right. No worries. Please, your question.
All right. Yeah. Talking about cryptocurrency.
What is your question?
It something? Yeah. Is it something that individually we can develop it, or it has to be engineered by the central government, or how are we going to go about it, knowing very well that on our continent we don't own any of the governments? We all know. I mean, we don't have to deny it. Anything that is going to change lives, they can never start it.
Yeah, thank you. I think your question is clear. Let Brother Kama answer. Brother Kama, thank you.
Yeah, crypto actually is private. That's why governments hate it, because it's a private product that is trying to shift the control of money from government back to the community. So most of the crypto that is in existence now, apart from maybe digital money, like the UN, I think the UN, they already have the digital yuan, the Chinese, which is government digital money. So there is what is private. What is common now is purely private that you find on any crypto exchange. It's purely private. That's why it's good, because you can acquire it away from the eyes of government.
Thank you very much. Brother Echo.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Because my question is more of how are we going to create it? Okay, we creating it, not necessarily how we are going to use
let's
it.
Go
but
to Sister Tapua, please. Sister Tapua, do you have a question? Sister Tapua, presentation, So we will make the recording available so you can watch it. He's explained that you will use your laptop, your mobile phone. That's how you create it. Yeah, you log on for a few minutes or so, and then you do what you have to do. That's how you mine it. So he's explained that. I'm not suggesting I understand all of it. I'm going to watch the video again myself and understand it more. But he's answered that question.
Maybe
wants to add a few more comments.
In terms of creating it, imagine we wanted to create our own today. If you wanted to create our own today, it means you need to have computer scientists, which we have now. That's why, the United Africa Blockchain Association, if we embraced it, maybe they can help us create our own African, cryptocurrency that thereafter we can support as Africans.
So, Brother Kama, when we hear from Sister Nana, the Ancient Society next week, I believe you'll also be here. Then we can collectively make a decision as to what to do. Yeah. In the meantime, you are urging us all to buy the pie, and I certainly will follow your advice. So thank you. Sister Tapua, your question, please. The time now is 25 past. Brother Pigeon, is the anthem ready?
Hello.
Dr. Tapua, can you just hold on? Yes, Sister Tapua, hold on. Brother Pigeon, is the anthem ready? Yeah, can you play it, please? Sister Tapua, you will speak just after the anthem. Thank you.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show tonight.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa a tree of life. Let us all unite and sing together to uphold the bonds that frame our destiny. Let us dedicate ourselves to fight together for lasting peace and justice on earth. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Let us all unite and torn together to give the best we have to Africa, the cradle of mankind and fount of culture, our pride and hope and break of dawn. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life.
Thank you very much, Brother Pigeon. Sister Tapua.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, I've really struggled to get on to our network here in Zimbabwe. So I've missed the session. I just wouldn't let it pass. So I joined late. and I don't have any questions because I did not listen to the presentation. I'll catch up at some point. Thank you.
Yeah, you know we love you very much, Sister Tapua. And when,
Thank you.
When you're in our midst, you're always educating us. So those of us who don't know, Sister Tapua is an educator. So thank you very much. So at this point, it's 7:30. So we shall now move into discussion mode, comments, discussions, etc. And then at the end, Brother Kama will give final comments. And yeah. So Sister Nana, yeah, sorry, who is speaking?
Sir Windhoek.
Yeah, Windhoek. You want to ask a question or?
Yes,
or you want to make a comment? Yeah,
question.
Okay. It's fine. We've moved into discussion mode, so you can ask your question in the discussion mode as well. That's fine. But before you come in, Sir Windhoek, let's invite Sister Nana because she indicated she wanted to make a comment earlier. So let her come in first, and then you ask your question, which Brother Kama will answer. And then at this point, I will also hand over to Brother Pigeon to chair the rest of the session, so I can also have a rest.
Thank you, Brother Coleman. Yeah, thank you, Brother Coleman, for the chairship. Feel free anytime to still come in case of anything or any direction. Thank you. Yes, Sister Nana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Peace and love and Pan-Africanism to us all. I'm very honored to be part of this meeting. I'm from Ghana. My name is Nana Yabreye. I'm from Kumasi in the Asante region. I would like to have a little bit of a bite on the pie that has been introduced to us. One of our brothers kept asking, can we not create our own? The little bit of information I have, I used to mine pie. In fact, I have even done my KYC. But at some point, I deleted it from my phone. Why did I delete it? You see, these colonial masters are planning to actually officially enslave the world at large. It's a global prison that they are building for us. And they're coming up with something they call central bank digital currency. As we are all aware, money evolves. So since the time of barter trade, when our forefathers used to exchange sugar for bread, it has evolved and evolved until when we started having the fiat currency, which is the paper. For all we know, the era of the fiat currency is dying away. And the next evolution of money is digital. And digital means cryptocurrency. Now, they want to continue to control us. So they want to also get involved and ahead of us in the cryptocurrency era so that they can continue to control us. So Pi, the little information I had about it is that it is them that have disguised themselves. So they're going to use it as the CDBC, which is the central bank digital currency. Now, with the central bank digital currency, it is going to be controlled by the government. So they can shut your wallet up anytime, any day they want. But they are not going to tell the people right ahead, because if they say it, we are not going to follow them. So I have a little bit of an issue with Pi. And I'm very happy and privileged that something that it is going to be owned by us, for us, has been created. And I'm not going to say much about what we have created for us and by us, because we will have the opportunity, God willing, next week, if we're invited to come and tell the house. So Pi is not something I will be very enthusiastic about, but we can explore it. we can explore it, but I think the elites have a hand in it. That is what I would like to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister, for that.
With Brother PG's permission, let me tell Sister Nana that here now that, yes, you are invited to present to us next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Windhoek.
My first question is, I sent my greetings ago as when I joined the group this evening. My first question is, are there many different cryptocurrencies? If there are, what are they, if I understand correctly? And Pi, can we again get a small overview of Pi again, what it is? Is it a cryptocurrency? And where is it? And what is its background? Thank you.
Thank you. Brother Kam, I hope you can note some of the questions in that so that I can give you time to respond as well. Let me go around. Brother Kam will be responding, but just note it. Let me check again. Brother Gerald Anunnaki from our ancestors. Can you share your comments with us in regards to this digital thing? Was it existing during the Moors?
Yeah, man, keep that. Yes, my brother. Yeah, it did exist, my brother, more than 200,000 years ago. But anyway, what I want to talk about, I want to agree with what the mother just said here recently. I had two concerns also myself rather than questions to the great father who just educated us on digital currency. My first concern was that obviously this digital currency has to do with data. And we know that our data is stored in the data centers, you see, which are predominantly owned by Google and other companies, private companies now and again. But these data centers, the CIA has access to them. And then secondly, the issue of electricity, we know that there's a global agenda on power rationing, whereby they are turning off electricities in other areas they are found. So those are my two concerns. If we go off grid, then how are we going to deal with the issue of this digital mining? Two, the issue of privacy, because we know China and North Korea and Israel are the biggest hackers in the world. So those are my two concerns. Other than that, it's a good idea. And I think it could actually work if we can do it within this 4 years of Donald Trump we have, because like Donald Trump is like a device. It's been put there by our ancestors so that he can delay time for the blacks in the world. So if we don't use this time, the 4 years we have to actually start doing these mines and everything, in the next 6 years, it don't matter. It don't matter. Thank you.
Yeah, Rastafari. Brother Gavin. Anyway, I'd like to make it at this particular moment just a clarification. We, as Conscious and Study class, decide to host these meetings to conscientize our people on various topics and give platform for our people to understand and learn various issues that are going on in economics and politics. So none of this is our property, or neither do we own it in any way. We just offer a platform where people can learn, ask questions, and get answers. And that is basically what you're doing. After sometimes we take that process. So feel free, is not Consciousm putting this presentation, but Consciousm is offering a platform for people to share their thoughts in the struggle for political and economic unification of the continent. And you're free to share your thought in that regard. Robert Kama, are you able to respond to the two before I move to other comments? Because now the questions are coming in the comments side. Or I'll give you maybe 1 or 2 minutes to quickly respond to some few questions that have come in the comment section. And if you have any other comment, please feel free to raise your hand so that I can run to the list, because we are 19 and I'm only having 20 minutes to the end. So, Brother Kama? Is Brother Kama in?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I demuted myself. Sorry.
Yeah, there are a few questions that have been raised in the comment section. Are you able to respond to some or all?
I didn't check but I noted these others that they were coming up. Maybe you can ask those to me directly.
No, these ones that have been raised via talk. The two comments from the speakers. There are questions they've asked. Yes.
I've written them down, actually.
Okay. So are you able to respond now, or should I take more and then you respond later?
Yeah, I can make a response.
Please proceed.
Yeah, the first one is on the comment by the First Lady, who stated that, pi is likely to be CBDC. That could be true. It will not be true, but for now, it's still in private hands, because as we speak now, it's under the University of Stanford as one of the 53 companies that are under there, which includes companies like Amazon and the like. I'm aware that even in Zambia here, they are actually the Kwacha. They're trying to make it digital. Now, the beauty with the private crypto, that is our way of survival, actually. If we get involved into private crypto, we don't know of all the cryptos, many of them that exist so far, that, either government will adopt one or they have to create their own. Because governments actually are just creating their own digital money. Say the dollar, they want to make it digital. The kwacha, they want to make it digital. The naira, they want to make it digital. So that is the way of government. But governments are not creating crypto. They are simply getting digital money. I did a presentation to Bank of Zambia and Securities Exchange Commission on this one, actually. They informed me, government, as Bank of Zambia, we're not creating crypto. We are simply creating digital money, something that can be, some kind of electronic money, so that the kwacha is not physical money, just mere electronic. And then on the part of whether Pi is crypto, it's exactly crypto. Pi is crypto. And like I said, there are so many. If you just go on Uncle Google, you just ask to see the number of cryptocurrencies. Now, why I chose Pi? Because Pi, you are able to mine it yourself than buying. Most of these, like, Ethereum, Cardano, you can no longer mine them. You can only buy them. But if you don't have resources, you can't. Then the concern with the data is true. It's a choice, actually. It's a risk that I am taking personally, like in this regard. Just like even if I wanted to buy Bitcoin today on an exchange, they'll still require me to go through the process of KYC, because the account that I open is like a bank account. Actually, this crypto account is in my own bank, so that I keep the money myself than the bank keeping the money for me. Because the only time maybe the bank will come on board, like in Zambia, we don't have banks yet that are receiving crypto. So we're using mobile money, providers, because that's from maybe Binance or Yellow Card that can only bring my money through the mobile money now. So the issue of data, that is your account. It's just like a bank. If you go to a bank here, anywhere in your country, they would want you, how do they prove you are the owner? Because at some point you might have challenges with your account. They will need your credentials to confirm it's true. This is your account, so that you're able to recover your assets. So there's a choice there. Actually, if you deny that they should have access to your data, it means you not open an account with them. So just a choice that you're making. Even if we did an African, crypto now, they'll still need data from us, because we need to have our details on our accounts. The issue of power, our last brother, the issue of power, this one you are mining on a cell phone. I don't know. I didn't understand what he meant by going off grid. But no, the beauty with this one, I'm able to mine even when my battery is at 5%, because I just click that button, then it runs the blockchain in the background. And then even if I switch off my data, I switch off my phone, it will continue running in the background for the next 24 hours. Then it activates itself. All I do is get back after 24 hours and activate it. For now, that is what is available. And what I'm interested in to take advantage of this. And in fact, my strategy, is that when this launches, I'll offload all my coins so that I buy assets here in Zambia. So that even if they close the crypto, they grab the crypto so that it becomes government property, I will have money in my assets. Except before that, then I'm taking advantage of the situation. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Brother Kwame. Yes, Brother Kwame.
With your permission, let me just, I've posted something in the chat in response to Brother Kama's question. So yes, there are 13,217 cryptocurrencies at the moment. And the Bitcoin has 48.6% of the market. And there are only 20 cryptocurrencies that make up 90% of the total market. So I just thought I'll put that out there. So I'll put that in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Kwame. Thanks for those who have raised their hands. Because as I've said, I'll give priority to those who have raised their hands, also based on time and the number we have for now. So let me go to Sister Maira and Sir Window. After then, if you wish to share something in the comment section, just raise up your hand as well. I'll give you the opportunity, please. Sister Maira?
Thank you, Brother Pigeon. I just wanted to send a huge shout out to Sister Nana. She took the words out of my mind. Yes, yes. For me, as a Pan-African Black nationalist, anytime I see imperialism or imperialist hands on anything, I'm very weary, and I'm all for creating a currency for us. I'm looking forward to Sister Nana's presentation next week, and I'll see what she presents. Perhaps it may be in line with some of the ideas that are running around in my head, because I have some ideas about how we could develop this further and create usage for our own African currency. And I also agree with fantastic, and that makes me really happy. I can't wait for your presentation. I also agree with what Brother Sa said in the comment. We have to create our own. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir Window, anybody want also to share anything as well? Please raise your hand so that I'll take you after Sir Window.
Yes. Tell me, the dinar is backed by gold. Crypto is backed by what? Does it need to be backed by anything? Even though we are created equal, maybe some of us are a bit slow learners. Second question, is there any central authority, so to say, that would take responsibility should any crypto, if you like, fail or doesn't perform and people lose money in the process? I don't know whether I'm thinking correctly, but those are my two questions and comments together.
Yeah, sorry. Brother Pigeon, with your permission, I want to make a comment on the first question before Brother Kama speaks. So technically, currencies, if you take the United States dollars, for instance, technically it's meant to be backed by gold. Yeah, but if you take 5 out of the 100,000 US dollars or do you $1 US, you go to the Central Bank of America and you say to them, can I convert it into gold? They will not give you gold. So the idea that is backed by gold is on paper only. No central bank is giving out gold when you take the currency to them. It used to be the case that the currency, if you take it to a central bank, you can say, look, I brought this X amount of money, paper, please give me gold. There's no central bank doing that as far as I know. unless somebody knows of any. So that's the answer to the first question. Brother Kama can add his comments. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. I think we have I think the best example we are always giving is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not backed by anything. So it's just, its value is determined by the community that adopt it and accept it as a means of exchange. So that's how crypto is. And, I think the little I can remember is that the first crypto was created, after the 2008 recession, when people had challenges on how to transfer money and the like. That's how the first crypto was created, so that they can easily transfer money across the globe. So along the way, 15 years down the line, I think if you have looked at it, it has been adopted and accepted as a means of exchange. So the value is in the community that are using it. So far, it's not backed by anything anyway. But like I always say, I've just accepted it as a product of technology, just like any other product that technology can produce. And then the producers then, add value to it. At how much can they sell to those that would want to use it? Thank you so much.
Sorry, Brother Pigeon, sir, I have to come in again. I have to come in again only because this is a Saturday session on economics. And as some of us are economists, we come in, we kind of come in and explain. So can I explain that the theories of value, there are different theories of value, depending on the economics you're looking at. The theory of value, as far as what is called neoclassical economics is concerned, is that value is determined by the demand and supply of anything. So if you take Bitcoin, for instance, its value is determined by its supply and how many people want it. So the fact that Bitcoin has 48.6% of the market implies that the demand and supply of Bitcoin is very high. That's the first thing. There are other values, there are other theories of value. There is a theory of value that also will say that the value of the Bitcoin will depend on how much time a miner spends on it. So that's but there are others. I should make that clear. So in other words, value, if you take neoclassical economics, what backs value? Well, really it's nothing. It's demand and supply. Thank you.
Thank you for the economic lessons.
The last question.
Yes, Brother Kama.
Any central authority to take responsibility. I think what is happening now, I think we watched the Nigerian Nigerian discussion in parliament. So what governments are trying to do is put up regulations on cryptocurrency. But, cryptocurrency, that is what is actually trying to avoid. Government should have authority, because it means it's no longer be something that is not under government control. But most governments actually are now putting on regulations on how to manage this. You'll be surprised that when I wanted to learn about cryptocurrency and the blockchain, there's no school in Zambia, not a single university or college that has started teaching blockchain. And, it is only the United African Blockchain Association that was invited, in Zambia to come and teach government on the blockchain itself. But there's no single school that is teaching anything so far. So far, there's no control by government. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Brother Carrington, do physics suffice here? I know you also go in technology.
Hi, everyone. Just a quick one. No physics will suffice here. This is a mathematical problem. The value of Bitcoins come from the people who want to use it, who value it, as Brother Kwame has said, and the process of mining it is the process of solving complicated functions which result in the production of one Bitcoin, essentially decrypting, resulting in the process of creating a crypt a cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is a currency that is produced by encryption, that is hiding a certain message, putting a certain piece of information private, and then people have to embark on the process of decrypting the cryptocurrency. Yeah.
That's very important. Thank you for that. Yes, proceed.
Last point, I would really like to challenge everyone and ask them where the value of gold comes from, if not human beings. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, can I come in again? Brother Carrington, if you use the word hide, it will create impression that the one hiding it can decipher it.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a fair point. What word is useful?
Yeah. Anyway.
We have 5 minutes to go. So I'll take Brother Coco. Brother Coco.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for very useful discussion. And I'm also grateful to you, Brother Kwame, and you, Brother Carrington, for delving deeper into the demand question. And I think it sort of helps to address Brother Winwook's question on what is backing the cryptocurrency. Just to add on to what you have already put, is that money also depends on trust. It depends on trust. So the backing by the central body or the central bank, or knowing that your money is worth gold or worth so much in gold, is knowing that you can trust that currency in a way. So there's that trust element. And I think from what I can see here, the crypto is there made to be trusted because of who is issuing that, and also that demand element is pushing the value up. But then again, there is this element of wanting to circumvent government regulation. So it's going to be really interesting to see how government regulations will try to put this one into control. But having said that as well, I am very appreciative of what Sister Nana and Queen Mayara are thinking of doing the same, taking the same concept and implementing in Africa. I guess if we had that trust by us as Africans, or the demand for that, it should sort of sustain us, sustain the growth in Africa, sustain the economies of Africa in a way. It will be really nice to do that. But the question is, how soon can that happen, and what the feasibility for that will be, which is probably not the question for Brother Khama as such, but this is for all of us to think about and say, okay, what is it that we can do as Africans for Africa using this concept? Many thanks.
Thank you. You've reminded me of Ambassador Jasmine Roy, who I talk about Lumi as well. She was today's presentation. We'll also work on that. And as we come towards the end of this, I just want to put it very clearly once again to members that by having this conversation, we are able to know what's going on the ground. Because what has been lacking in the Pan-African space is lack of inability of us to talk to each other, so that you can be able to know that this is going on here and this is going on here. Because the ability to have a platform to be aware of what's going on is the beginning of us starting to work together. So we from Conscience and Solidarity, we are offering that platform where we can start talking to each other and be able to know that this is what somebody's doing, and this is what somebody's doing, and this is what can be done, and this is how we can move together towards a common action. So once again, thank you very much for all of you who have contributed to this. Let me give it back to Brother Kwame. Brother Kwame, I know this was economics a bit. Mine will be waiting for politics and history.
Yeah,
but anyway, thank you.
No, thank you. Let me just say a few, just a small comment, and then you can give us the announcements, and then we can bring the meeting to a close. As Brother Pidgin has said, we meet every Thursday to discuss philosophy and ideology, and we focus on conscientism, which is a philosophy and ideology of decolonization with specific reference to the African Revolution. And what we have heard today is that the African Revolution can be furthered through the use of today's technology. The key point I want to make is that one of the things we've discussed in our philosophy class is anarchism. So anarchism is a philosophy, it's a philosophical position that says that, if you like, emphasizes individual sovereignty, trusts, and intermediaries. That you don't need intermediaries. You don't need centralized authorities to tell you what to do. And so they told us that anarchism is bad. Yeah, they told us that we should embrace government. We should embrace central government. We should embrace. Our brother Kama was a police officer. Let's embrace police authority. Let's embrace the army. Let's embrace it so that they can protect us, and so on. That's central authority. And anarchism says that no, these institutions just end up oppressing us. So what we need is decentralized power, decentralized, if you like, sovereignty, and so on. And here we are. Anarchism is possible through blockchain technology. Isn't that amazing? Therefore, it means that we Pan-Africanists now have a tool that we don't know how it will evolve, but the social organization of Africa really is now on the table. And as to how it will evolve, we don't know. But it's amazing. It is wonderful. It is all the words you can use. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brother Kwame. Indeed, as we fight for the liberation, probably this part of the liberation that we get to ourselves from the system that controls us, and this part of the freedom we give to ourselves. So yes, the mainstream system has come in, the mainstream economic system, the fiat currencies, the central bank, in one way or the other, the government and all the legal laws have been meant to control us. Is the ability for us to get free from the system and liberate ourselves. And as Brother Kwame said, let's see how it unfolds. But let's be optimistic and let's try to participate as much as we can to be part of that struggle for the economic liberation and probably economic unification of us as a people. So once again, I'll say that the recordings of this session will be available on our YouTube channel by latest next week, Tuesday. And we are looking forward, as it has been made clear here, to hear a presentation from Sister Nana. And I hope, Sister Nana, you can be able to get in touch with me or Brother Kwame, or because I've shared my contact as well, so that we organize this. And it seems the November month is for economics, unification, and liberation. So we might spend the November for economics as we move to the next session, probably in December, because we are waiting from Sister Ambassador Jasmine on Lumi as well. But let's listen to all efforts necessary. Then let's come up and ask one question. What must now be done for us to move forward? Now we invite you for our Thursday session. That's actually the central point of all this conversation. Is a philosophical and ideological class. Some of you might not be aware that Nkrumah wrote not a book, but a philosophy and ideology for decolonizing Africa called Conscientism. So please join us. I've shared the YouTube link where we have recorded over 170 past sessions of our class, always available. You can check them, you can review them, you can subscribe, and you can comment. So once again, comrades, brothers and sisters, from wherever you're joining us, it was a pleasure and it's still a pleasure to have you around. I'm looking forward to continue with this participation the next week. The conversation must continue going until we come together and define a common goal and a common cause. May you have a blessed evening, blessed night, or blessed morning from wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much.